Hi everyone, Extra Flaming here and welcome back to a YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, we are going to be going over the remainder of BBL 12. Still a couple of games to be played out before the end of the season to find out who will be making finals. And yeah, just going to be having a little bit of a preview, look at the games and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead, hop right into things. Alright, so before we go ahead, look at some other games, we do need to have a current look at the ladder, which of course is before tonight's game at 6:30. Which is the Thunder and the Scorchers, which is going to be a massive game as well, in terms of how the ladder will end up shaping up. But anyway, though, first of all, I'm going to go through the ladder. Scorchers are on top, a game behind the Sixers, the Strikers, the Renegades, and the Stars. So the Scorchers are on top, 7-2. In second, the Sixers are 6-3-1. In third, the Strikers are 5-5. In fourth, the Thunder are 5-4. That's going to be a really big game tonight for both these two sides. In fifth, the Renegades are 5-5. In sixth, the Hobart Hurricanes are 4-5, and you'll find that's not a bad place to be. In seventh, the Stars are 3-7, and then last spot, the Heat are 2-6-1. So really big run home, and the big thing that I see here is there's 2 wins right now between third and seventh, and 1 win between third and sixth. So I feel like you've got the Scorchers and the Sixers as your locks into the finals right now. These two sides have been in exceptional form throughout the season and should comfortably make finals. But we're just going to go through the games, then probably have a look at every team's run home as well. So starting off with tonight's game, it's going to be the Sydney Thunder and the Perth Scorchers at Sydney Showground Stadium. Now, this game is just absolutely massive in terms of ladder, in terms of points, in terms of everything. No result would really throw a toss-up into this whole top 5, top 4, top 6 kind of thing anyway. If the Thunder can, they need to be looking at 2 points tonight, do the Sydney Thunder. And if the Scorchers will win, that'd probably guarantee them a spot in the finals for sure. And if the Thunder get the job done tonight, which would really create an interesting toss-up, that will put them into third and really get things interesting. So, it's pretty much tomorrow, is going to be the Strikers and the Heat of the Adelaide Oval. So, this is going to be, I would have a pretty clear winner for this one being the Strikers. But, look, the Stars did upset the Strikers the other night. And I reckon the Heat could definitely do it again. Khawaja, Labuschagne, they do know what they're doing in T20 cricket. However, the Strikers are going to have Carey and Head back, which is going to make their team even more stacked. I would see them winning that one. Renegades and the Stars. Now, this game is absolutely vital as well. The Stars still chasing their slim hopes of finals. The Renegades still obviously chasing their finals hopes. That's a big clash. And then the Hurricanes versus the Thunder. If the Hurricanes lose this could just about be season over for them. The Thunder, if they can win, they can still really chase that second and top spot, especially with still one more derby to go between the Sixers and the Thunder. So then we've got the Sixers and the Scorchers of the SCG. And oh boy, this is a mouth-watering matchup. It is the SCG, so you would give the slight edge to Sydney, in my opinion. But look, I reckon that's going to be a really cracking game. There's going to be lots of ladder consequences based on that one. The Stars then play the Heat at the MCG, which again, I'd say if Brisbane's season wasn't over against Adelaide, this would end their season. I couldn't see them winning at the MCG. The Sixers then play the Strikers in what is a mouth-watering matchup as well, but I'd say I'd definitely back in the Sixers for that one. The Scorchers then play the Hurricanes in what is a really important game as well. The Hurricanes, this could just about spell season over for them. And the Scorchers, well, if they win this, that should ensure top spot for them. Then the Thunder play the Renegades at Manuka Oval. And that, oh boy, is a massive game as well. A massive game. So then, the Strikers play the Scorchers on that Saturday, followed by the Heat and the Hurricanes at the Gabba. These two this is a double header on the Saturday. Both these games are really big. The Scorchers and the Strikers at the Adelaide Oval is definitely a mouth-watering matchup. And then the Heat and the Hurricanes, this could definitely be season over for the Hurricanes if they couldn't get on a groove and win this. Considering you feel like the Renegades, the Strikers, and the Thunder at least win one more game up until this point. If the Hurricanes don't, they'll be lagging behind quite a fair way. So they'll have to build up a bit of ground. And the 20th of January, with only a few days left of the season, it's just too late to do that. Then the Sixers play the Thunder in what is a big derby. That's going to be a really big one. That is a massive game, that one. That's going to really have all sorts of consequences on the ladder. So the Heat play the Stars by what I feel like this time will probably be a nothing game. If the Stars can get their act together, they could really push for finals, and this game could be interesting on their terms. But I really don't see any of these two sides making finals. I really just do see this one just being a who's the better of the bottom two sides. Now the Scorchers play off against the Renegades. Now this is going to be a really big game to finish off the year. Well, the year's not over after this, but still though, you get what I mean. It's a really big game just to really get a feel of where these two sides could be at. This would definitely lock in first place for the Scorchers, and for the Renegades, this is going to be a big game to see whether they make finals, considering their next one is pretty tough. Then the Hurricanes take on the Sixers at Blundstone Arena, and this is just an absolute must-win for them. If they lose this, that's definitely season over for them, considering how far ahead I could see the Renegades, Strikers and Thunder being, considering with some of their run homes. Yep, against the Sixers, that's an absolute must-win. Couple more games, 3 more games to go before then it's finals. The Renegades take on the Strikers at Marvel, which is a big game for both these two sides, considering they're around the same stage. Perhaps one of these two teams could get knocked out based on that one. The Hobart Hurricanes and the Brisbane Heat is absolutely massive as well. And then finishing it off with the Stars and the Thunder, which really could be, can the Stars sneak in to the top 5? Alright, so now it is time for team by team. So we're going to start off with the Adelaide... Well, you know what? Let's just go in ladder positional. That's going to make things a lot easier. Scorchers, their run home. They play the Thunder at Sydney Showground. Then they play the Sixers at the SCG. Then they play the Hurricanes at Optus Stadium. Then they play the Strikers at the Adelaide Oval. And then they play the Renegades in Perth. So having a couple of games in Perth is really big. They're playing the Renegades. They're playing the Strikers. They're playing the Hurricanes. They're playing the Sixers. And they're playing the Thunder. They are not playing any of the Stars or the Heat. They are playing teams in this top 6 bracket, which could definitely cause a lot of upsets. I would not say they're home at all yet. I would not say they're in the finals just yet either. I would say this is still a very even game, and I'd say 5 losses is well and truly capable for the Perth Scorchers. I would see them winning 3 or 4 of these games. I definitely do see them, their loss definitely being against the Sixers. That's their first loss, I reckon, perhaps. I reckon they could potentially lose to Thunder, but yeah, I reckon they'll lose to the Sixers, and I reckon the Strikers could be in for an upset against them as well. And yeah, so now for the Sydney Sixers, and this team has been a very good team throughout the whole entirety of the Big Bash, along with the Scorchers. So the Sixers, let's have a look at them. So they've got Scorchers at the SCG. That's a really big game, mouth-watering one. Got the Strikers in Coffs Harbour. And then they have the Thunder at the SCG, the Hurricanes at Blundstone Arena, and that will finish off their campaign. So the Hurricanes at Blundstone, it's not an easy job to do down there, but I would see them winning that one. I could also probably see them definitely beating the Thunder at the SCG as well. So that's 2 wins already on the trot for the Sixers. The Strikers, I should see them. I reckon they can win all 4. I reckon the Sixers will take out first spot. Yes, I feel like the Scorchers have probably been the best team this year, but no, I reckon the Sixers take out top spot with like how easy, well, not how easy their run home is, because it's actually pretty hard. They play the Scorchers, they play the Strikers, they play the Thunder, and they play the Hurricanes. So again, teams in that top 6 bracket, they're being pretty challenged. So now the Adelaide Strikers, their run home is the Heat. That's a massive game. That they need to win that one. Absolutely need to win that one. Then they play the Sixers before them playing the Scorchers and then finishing off the year against the Renegades. So again, they're playing the Scorchers and the Sixers, 2 teams above them. They're playing a team that they're pretty even with is in the Renegades, and then playing the bottom place Brisbane Heat. The Brisbane Heat, though, are a fear, considering Josh Brown has played really well and all of their test stars returning. But I feel like with Adelaide's test stars returning as well, they could definitely be in for a couple of surprise wins. For example, Scorchers and perhaps the Sixers. Now, look, they can win all 4, they can lose all 4 here, Adelaide. They can be such unpredictable teams. They can be such an unpredictable team at times. Their bowling lineup is really going to help them, though. I reckon at Adelaide Oval, they do definitely get the win against the Heat, and then against the Renegades, Sixers and Scorchers, that's left to be unknown, and I feel like those 3 games are enticing games and very interesting ones. So now we're going to move on to the Sydney Thunder. They've got the Scorchers tonight, the Hurricanes, and then they have the Renegades, and then the Sixers before them playing the Stars. So it's not bad here for the Thunder. They're playing it's actually pretty bad. They're playing the Stars in the last game of the season, which is sure to shake up the ladder and perhaps give them a really good look at what they need to do and how much they need to win by in order. Playing the last game can be a really big threat or a really big positive. Other than that, though, playing sides in this top 6 bracket again, they're playing the likes of the Hurricanes, the Sixers and the Scorchers. That could be damaging as well for their finals hopes. So I really think again for the Thunder, it's so interesting. So now for the Renegades, and they've got a big job to do. They've got the Stars in the Derby, then they've got the Thunder, before them playing the Scorchers and the Strikers. So again, one of those two sides in this bottom 7-8 bracket, and then they play more teams up in this top 6 bracket, especially like the likes of the Strikers and the Scorchers. So I feel like this is going to be really interesting for the Renegades. So now we move on to the Hobart Hurricanes, and their run home is versus the Thunder, versus the Scorchers, versus the Heat, and versus the Sixers. Oh, and the Heat again. So they're playing the Heat twice. So that's big there for the Hobart Hurricanes. They are a game behind lots of other teams as well, but you got to keep in mind that so are the Thunder and so are the Scorchers. So that could hurt your finals run in the end. Although those two teams are clashing tonight, so that's going to be a really big game. But the Hobart Hurricanes, massive, massive, massive W that they are playing the Heat twice in this bracket. This is really important. If they get 2 wins against the Heat, automatically, without any other results, that can be 6-5, and that can be contending with that top 3 area. So, yeah, they play the Heat twice. They play the Thunder. That's not going to be easy to win against the Thunder. They play the Scorchers, which is also no easy win, and then the Sixers as well. So, look, this is interesting. They play a lot of top sides as well, but 2 games against the Heat, you got to take that. So now for the Stars, and they're going to be playing the Renegades, which they just need to try and upset now as many times as they possibly can here, the Stars. So they're playing the Renegades, as I said, then they're playing the Heat, which they still play the Heat twice, and I reckon those Stars-Heat games could be pretty good as well. And then they're playing the Heat again before they play the Thunder. And yeah, I reckon the Stars could have a really big, good look at changing how this top 6 plays out and sneaking into finals themselves. They win every single game from here, and they could go about 7-7 and definitely contend with that top area. So yeah, if everything goes wrong for these top teams, then the Stars are definitely a chance to get in. So the Heat, you'd think it's all over for them. I would highly doubt they make finals. They play the Strikers at the Adelaide Oval, which is a tough job. They play the Stars, the MCG. They play so well there to the Stars. Then they play the Hobart Hurricanes at the Gabba. That probably could be a big win for them. And then they play the Stars at the Gabba before then playing the Hobart Hurricanes at UTAS to finish off their season. So they are playing a couple of lower sides, most notably the Stars and the Hurricanes, but you cannot take them as easy teams. The Heat, they're a really hit and miss side. They can play really well in one week, and then they can play pretty poorly the next. They kind of have a bit of an aggressive game style. If that doesn't work, they're not going to play well at all. They do play a couple of top sides, for example, the Strikers. But look, I do feel like it is season over for the Heat. So my prediction, well, to be completely honest, I reckon what could happen, I reckon the Scorchers go second, the Sixers go first. I reckon the Strikers could slide down to 4th or 5th. I reckon the Thunder will sit in 3rd, the Strikers in 4th, and the Renegades in... No, I'm going to say the Renegades in 4th, the Strikers in 5th, the Hurricanes in 6th, equal on points to the Strikers and the Renegades, the Stars in 7th, which actually pick up a couple of late wins, and then the Heat can probably do a couple of surprise upsets, I reckon, as well, and finish bottom. But that's my prediction. But look, I really don't know how things are going to go. This is such an interesting end of year. I reckon a lot leans on this game, though. The Scorchers and the Sixers is a big one, including tonight's Thunder and the Scorchers, which, yes, this video is recorded before this game. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. So then you guys never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much. Bye everyone. Extra Flaming out.